My name is Caroline Dunn, personal trainer, yoga teacher and nutrition coach, helping you to unlock strength in mind, body and spirit. Today we're going to take a short practice based around our heart that's opening up the chest and the shoulder area. Now all you need for this practice is yourself and a mat. So when you're ready, come on down. You can be in whatever comfortable seated position best suits you. If you have a block or something similar, it could be books, then one option is to prop the hips up and raise them up a little bit, and that can just make your seat feel a little bit more comfortable. So when you're ready, we're going to start with our hands on our hearts. So take your hands, press firmly into the heart area and closing the eyes. And on your next breath in, take a long breath in through your nose. And then gently release the breath out the mouth. And breathe in through the nose. Long, soft sigh out the mouth. And breathing in. And sighing out. And then closing the mouth, start to allow the breath now to come back in and out through the nose. Now if that's not comfortable or possible, you could take that breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just starting to notice the movement of your body as you breathe. Start to feel the heart rising and falling underneath your hands. And even though it might not come with an accompanying feeling, then start to send some gratitude, some acceptance, some kindness to yourself now. And take one more breath in here. And breath out. And then eyes can stay closed if you'd like, or blinking them open. As you take your next breath in, reach both hands up towards the sky with the palms facing inwards. Then as you exhale, draw your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers with the right thumb clasped on top. From there, as you breathe in, send your heart forwards as you squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back body, sending your arms down your back and away from your body. Then, as you exhale, keep the clasp of the arms, the hands, but bend the elbows and release the stretch of the chest. Draw those hands around to your right hand side. So you could tuck those clasped hands into the side of your body and draw the right elbow forwards. From here, gently nod your right ear towards your right shoulder. And you might like to close into the eyes again here and start to breathe into the left hand side of your neck. Keeping the left shoulder blade down and away from the ear. Breathe space there. And then as you next exhale, blinking the eyes open, returning the neck through neutral and releasing the clasp of the hands. Breath in, reach your fingertips all the way back up to the sky, palms facing in. And then as you exhale, draw your hands behind your back, left thumb on top this time as you interlace the fingers. So clasping the hands the weird way round. Then as you breathe in, squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back body, lift your arms away from your back and breathe in some space into the heart area. Then release the stretch across the chest and draw your hands all the way around to the left-hand side, drawing the left elbow forwards. Left ear to left shoulder now, and again, maybe closing into the eyes as you breathe into the stretch for the right-hand side of the neck. Two more breaths here. And then as you next exhale, lifting the neck back through neutral and releasing the clasp of the hands. From here, duck your chin down towards your chest. You might pause here, breathing in some space into the back of the neck, across the back of your top part of your back. Or you might interlace your fingers and place them on the back of your head, letting the elbows gently knock around the sides of the head. Now you're not pushing or pulling, just adding the weight there to increase the stretch into the top part of your back. And take another breath here. And then as you next breathe in, open up. Send your heart forwards, open the elbows wide, and press your head back into your hands as you breathe some space all the way across the top of your shoulders and your chest. And then as you exhale, release. Draw your hands behind you and step your feet out a little bit, bringing them to the mat. So your feet are about hip distance here. And then as you next exhale, pick up your hips off the mat and extend the knees away from you in a reverse plank. And keep a little tuck of the chin if you can. And then as you inhale, gently bringing your hips all the way back to the earth. Now you can repeat that as it is. If you'd like to add on, then you might start to just walk those feet an inch or two further away from you. Your next exhale, lift your hips, extend the knees away from you. Breathe in space all through the front of your body. And then as you exhale, with control, let the hips touch down. Last one, staying here or walking the feet out another inch. Exhale, lift the hips up, extend the knees away from you. Use the whole strength of the back body here to hold you. And inhale, return the hips all the way to the earth. From here, swing your legs all the way around so that you come to an all fours position on your mat. You're looking here for your hands to be underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And as you next breathe in, move to cow. So flare out your tailbone, dip your belly down, draw your heart through, and if it's comfortable, lift the chin. And then as you exhale, start to curl your tailbone in, arch through the spine, lift up the belly button, and tuck your chin as you separate your shoulder blades on the back body. Cat. Breath in, ripple forwards, belly dips, and heart draws through. Exhale, tuck the chin in, press the ground away from you as you curl through your spine. Inhale, ripple forwards. Exhale, press and round. And take a couple more with your breath. That might end up being slower or faster than my cat-cows. Really feeling into every single part of your spine, using and connecting with the breath. And then you might start to add in some more sideways movement to start to take it into some barrel rolls. And just let this be an organic movement, whatever feels nice and okay in your body. And then coming through a neutral spine and pause here. Start to walk your hands out in front of you. Now keep your knees and your hips exactly where they are. So your hands start to come out a foot and a half, about that distance apart, like an extended tabletop. Then from here, start to dip down in between your shoulder blades, bringing your forehead, chin or chest to touch, puppy pose, anahatasana. Now try and keep a little curl of the tailbone here. This is all about opening up through the upper part of your spine. We're going to spend 2 more breaths here. Now lift up your belly button up towards your spine, and as you exhale, press through your hands to lift the arms back up off the mat. Then draw your hands back in underneath your shoulders. From here, step your hands backwards to come to kneeling at the back of the mat. Now, here we're going to play with a couple of rounds of Camel with Strasana. You might like to tuck your toes, and if you are new to Camel, remember, listen to your body and don't move into any sensation that's particularly intense. Now take your hands and we're going to make a C shape, cupping the spine. So the thumbs are in towards the spine, and then wrap the fingers around the sides of the body. Take the gaze forwards. As you next breathe in, send your hips forwards and lift your heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you and keep a little tuck of the chin for this first round. Breathe in some space through the front body. And then as you exhale, draw yourself back upright. Very gently sink the hips down as you untuck the toes and let the spine rest for a breath. And then as you next inhale, pick up your hips again and find that C support with your hands. Tuck the toes if you'd like. Now you can always stay with the Camel that we just did. If you'd like to add on, then follow the cues. So you take your next breath in, start to press your hips forwards, lift your heart as you squeeze your shoulder blades. If it's comfortable, you might release your neck backwards. If you can do so in one fluid movement, then you might bring both hands down to the ankles. Breathing in nice and slowly. And then as you exhale from wherever you are, tuck your chin in, bring your hands back to support the lower back, and then gently sink your hips all the way down onto your heels and let the spine rest for a breath. Now from here, start to send your legs back out in front of you. Now that as we open the heart, also bend the back bend. So just going to release the spine a little bit more. So give yourself some space. You can send your hands behind you and bring your feet about mat distance. As you next breathe in, let your knees gently knock to one side. And then your next breath allows them to knock all the way across to the other side. And let your breath be your guide here. Now the next time that the knees come all the way across to the right hand side, pause there. Pick up your left hand and bring it all the way around. So you start to spin yourself to the back of the mat. So you're twisting to the right with the legs staying exactly as they are. So full body twist. Now you might stay here up on the hands. If it feels comfortable, then start to walk yourself down onto your elbows. Keep your gaze down and your chin tucked in. Now if this still feels comfortable, then you might start to thread the needle. So that means bringing your left hand and place it underneath your right armpit. Start to work both fingertips away from you so that the right fingertips reach up to the top of the mat and the left fingertips reach across your mat, resting on the side of your base. Wherever you are, take one more breath. And then from whichever position you are, start to unwind and unravel. So working your way back onto the elbows, back onto the hands, and then turning all the way back to the top of the mat. And you may just need to reset your hips, reset your feet in that central position. Now let your knees gently knock to the left-hand side, pick up your right hand and start to spin all the way to the left, to the back of the mat. Now pause here, pick up the hips if you need to find that spin, that twist. And just notice how things are feeling on this side. Stay here, or if you have the space, begin to work your way down onto the elbows. And if this is still comfortable, then start to walk the left hand away from you, draw your right hand and place it underneath your right armpit. Allow the fingertips to work their way away so that the left fingertips reach up to the top of the mat. The right hand reaches across your mat as you rest on the right side of your head. One more breath wherever you are. And then from whichever position, start to unravel, working your way back onto the forearms, back onto the hands, and then gently twisting all the way back around to the top of the mat, where I'll meet you in a comfortable seated position. Draw your hands back onto your heart when you'll make your way there, and then close into the eyes. And we'll take a final couple of breaths together as one. So in your next breath in, breathe in through the nose, and then let it go out the mouth. Breathe in through your nose, and let go. And take a moment to send some gratitude, some love, some acceptance, whatever it is that you need, some kindness to yourself as you press your hands to your heart. And thank you so much for practicing with me. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.